All right, family. I think I am live right now. Peace to the chat. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We're gonna have a good show tonight. I want everybody to get on in the room. Make sure you hit that like button. As you can see, my guest, the world famous. I'm about to bring the brother on. But before I bring the brother on, we got to celebrate our life real quick. Let's get this commercial. Be right back in about 1 minute, family.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning feeling stressed. Sometimes I wake up feeling like I never slept. Sometimes I don't wanna wake up cause I'm depressed. But today when I woke up I felt blessed. Yes, I'm thankful I could breathe. Thankful for the breath, thankful for the heart beating in my chest. Superman-esque, I fell in love with life, not afraid of death. Fell in love with life, fell in love with sex. I'm a sinner, I confess. I love my cold, melanated flesh. It absorbs, it protects like a bulletproof vest. I kill all my demons and then I ask who's next. I'm the son of Osiris, I'm coming for the Sutex. Suplex, God is blood, God is great. I'm thankful for the food on my plate. I just ate mashed potatoes and steak. Victory is sweet, come get a taste. The flavor in your air is Big Mac with the bass. Been broke, can't break, got money in the bank. Every day someone dies, someone's born. Get a cake, set a date, get a suit, get a tie, get a date. God is always on time, never late. Celebrate, get in shape, meditate, levitate, elevate. Men destroy, men create, real women menstruate. And the sound I make emanates my light. And the song I sing celebrates my life. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Everything was dark, God invented light. Everybody celebrate your life, celebrate your life. Celebrate today, celebrate tonight. Accepted all my wrongs, celebrate the right. When I die, celebrate my death, see what heaven's got. I feel glorious, victorious. The metal dangle on my...
Right, all right. Without further ado,
that is sweet. I like that. I like that. I
really
like that very much.
Hey, trying to keep it in a high vibration. You know what I'm saying, Lloyd?
Brother, that is very high.
Indeed. Glad you like it. Glad you like it.
Have all the masters on there. That's great.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Just like they're gonna like this show tonight. And without further ado, I want to welcome back to the platform, to the channel, Lloyd Strahorn, my brother. Welcome back, man.
Thank you for having me back, Rich. I was telling you really need to grow up, man. It's ridiculous. It's
hey,
like,
man.
There's a God. There's a God.
Hey, man, it is what it is. Staying young, my brother. Staying young.
Very good. Very good. It shows. It shows.
Thank you, brother. Lloyd, I get more and more interested in numerology every year, Lloyd. This is becoming one of my favorite sciences out there, brother. It's truly is fascinating. I've been watching more and more videos on it, it makes me appreciate the work you and King Simon do for the community. I mean, truly amazing, helpful work, man. So I want to say thank you, brother. And also, I found out something real interesting before we start the show, Lloyd. Something real. Now, if somebody watched our show previously, the numerology, they would know that I'm a number 8, born September 17th. Brother Rich is a number 8. Talk about it all the time. What I just found out, Lloyd, is if I add up my social security number, it's a number 8.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Interesting.
I just did it before the show. So I'm like, I just did it before the show, and I'm like, my social is a number 8 as well. So I'm like, have you ever added your social, Lloyd? And what do you think? Do you think that's as effective as the birthday?
Well, yeah, because don't forget those 8 numbers. I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 numbers. In fact, there's 8 numbers altogether.
And it's 8 numbers.
Okay. Wow. But it does. And so whatever the social security number, in fact, if you notice nowadays, they tell you what, don't give out your social security number.
Right.
But I would imagine it would fascinate you even more so this year, because this year, 2024, is the year of the 8. So those that are born on the 8th, the 17th, like you, 1 + 7 is 8, or the 26th, they would do well. And it's interesting you would talk about numerology and business, because numbers have been used in business a lot. And in fact, the most successful number in business is the number 8.
Right.
The number that attracts money is the number 6. And brother, your numbers are the 8, 5, and 6. So you would be my friend all year long.
Man,
Okay?
man, I'm be hearing from you, huh?
Yeah, in fact, when I went to China, in China, their luckiest numbers are the 8 and the 6. Those are the money numbers.
Yeah, you told me that. You told me that. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. And so these represents money and power and authority. The difference is 8 represents finance and romance, but
Right.
6 represents romance and finance. They just switch.
Ooh, deep,
They just
deep,
switch.
deep. You know, we talking about corporations, and one of the biggest corporations that we all remember from our childhood and in the world, all over the world, is McDonald's. And one of the things that stand out about McDonald's is the big M, the big M. Now, an M, they say there's sacred geometry and letters and numbers. The M almost looks like the number 3, but like say this is number
Yeah.
that you can
Mm-hmm.
put upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the deal with? Is there anything that you could tell me business wise about M, and maybe that might have helped with McDonald's success?
Well, other than M standing for money, I would imagine so. But M being the 4th letter in the alphabet, whether Chaldean or Pythagorean, represents building the cornerstone, building or laying the foundation to anything that's very important, having the blueprint, as it were, to making everything right. And in fact, if I did McDonald's, it adds up to 8 letters. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I haven't written it down, but I think the word McDonald's in and of itself has 8 letters. But I think the founder of McDonald's was in fact born, him and his brother was born on, one was born on the 14th, one was born on February 16th, which is interesting. But the real money number is 17. And it says, if you were to look at the tarot deck, the 17th card is called the 8-pointed star of Venus. It's a nude woman kneeling by a pond. And then they've got these pentacles, which represents money, 8 pentacles around them. Very, very, very beautiful card. It represents the power of financial success, number of immortality. So when J.P. Morgan, who was born on the 17th of the month, when he was asked back in the day, is it true that astrology makes millionaires? He says, no, it makes billionaires. Okay.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
Look at the New York Stock Exchange. It was founded on the 17th of May. If you
Wow.
look at Michael Jordan, how long Michael Jordan been out of the game for basketball?
Long time.
Born on the 17th, his retros are still selling. Okay. If you look at Muhammad Ali, until he came on the scene, boxers were getting paid next to nothing to get their heads knocked off. And then he's the one that with Joe Frazier, George Foreman, all these start getting multi-million-dollar fights. So 17-8 tend to bring with it the power of attraction, the power of money, possessions, and things like that. And as they get older, their life only just gets better.
All right. So we talking about these big companies, millionaire, billionaire companies.
Yes.
Let's see something real quick, Lloyd, because I'm trying to figure out, Lloyd, do they go over these dates with their numerologists, or are they just tapped into something? So they just, like if you move on intuition, you just figure out the days on your own. But the most revolutionary product that has hit the world in the last 20 years, bar none, the iPhone. Our iPhone changed the whole entire world. This was released June 29th, 2007.
Yeah, but it's an 8 universal day when you add it across.
Eight again.
Yes, if you add June the 29th to
that's what I'm getting.
2007, that adds up to an 8. 8 represents money, power, authority, achievement, recognition. So that's what I'm saying. Number 8 and number 6 are the money numbers. And in fact, it's all confirmed because when I wrote my book back in 1980, I was saying that the number that generates the most money in this country is the number 6, followed by the number 8. And in fact, Forbes 500 did a recent survey on billionaires by the zodiac sign. Well, the first one to come in top was Libra, which is ruled by the number 6. The third position was Taurus, which is ruled by the number 6.
Wow.
And that counted for about close to 32% of all of the zodiac signs, from Aries to Pisces.
Indeed. Oh, this is, yeah, like, So do you think they like do this on purpose? These businesses, do they have release dates purposely on certain number days, Lloyd? Or you think they
Well, yes, and not only that, they do colors too.
yeah,
Listen, when businesses set up things, when they open up an establishment, they scour the neighborhood, they pick out the location. Everything is done scientifically. These businesses don't form themselves helter skelter. They don't do that. They're
right.
definitely planned out. They're definitely well thought out, and they know exactly when they're going to do it. There
Mm,
is a time to do everything that goes on. So it's very fascinating.
mm,
So yeah, and so like even with McDonald's, they have the yellow and the red, and some of the most attractive colors to the eyes is red and yellow and green, and in fact, blue is what attracts money. So if you look at the bank, like Citibank, okay, their whole logo is blue. So
right.
so all of this is done with design, astrology, everything like that. But see, they don't call it what we do. See, we the layperson say numerology, astrology. They just say my consultants. But Wall Street has their own Wall Street astrology newsletters just
Right.
for businesses.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Do you think because when you study metaphysics, they talk about how the colors, each color represents a musical note on the piano. Do colors represent a certain number as well? Like is red a number 4 or blue a number 7 and
Each
orange a number?
color is ruled by a number, and
What,
that's in my book, Numbers in You.
so all right, let's run down some colors. So what number is red ruled by?
Red is 9. Red is
Oh, red
9.
is
No
9.
question about that. Yes, red is
Oh,
9.
so what's 8?
Well, and it's it's interesting you talk about 8 because today is the 26th, which is an 8, and it's a 9 universal day.
Can't make this up, Lloyd.
Yeah, yeah, just
Make this up.
coincidence, right? See that because people
Synchronicity.
can't explain it metaphysically. Yeah, that's a coincidence. Yeah, right. Well, with the
Yeah,
number 8 working backwards, they lean toward the darker colors. Like if you look at Muhammad Ali, who is a Capricorn in the number 8, he always did his interviews in black shirts or something of that nature. Yes, he wore light colored suits and stuff on occasions, but for number 8, the dark blues and the navy blues, those things are good. For the number 7 working backwards, they love pastel colors. You know what I'm saying?
uh,
Things of that nature. With number 6s, they like blues from the lightest to the darkest. Don't
right.
forget, there's 7 colors in the rainbow, but there are so many shades from the lightest of the blue to the darkest of the blue, powder blue to deep navy blue. So it's all these kinds of things that has to be taken into consideration. Now, type of colors, grays and metallic grays and things of that nature. 4s that like odd and unusual colors that are very kind of like, if you've ever looked at Haitian art, the way their colors are vibrant and stand out. A good example of that would be Wesley Snipes, who's born on the 31st. If you've ever
Mm,
seen some of his colors that he wears, they're very pastel, but they blend very well against his mahogany skin. If you look at 3s, they are the ones that deal with the lavender colors from the lightest to the darkest, purple, mauve, or whatever they call it, but it's in that shade. Number 2's anything that's green, creams, and white. That's it. From the lightest to the darkest, because although there's 7 basic colors in the rainbow, they have shadings that add up to millions. So if you look at a colorist, they know how to dress and act to play the part to convey visually. And that's why they even give out awards for that too. And number 1's, they like the yellows and the reds and the things of that nature too. So
right.
each number is ruled by a color that's more in depth in my book, Under Numbers in You.
And I got that book also. I didn't see that. I gotta look over that.
And I got it tapped in there on numerology and money too. And I talk about each sign. So number 8, your number is a money generating number. So
Mhm.
8 is associated with wealth, but 6 is the number that attracts money. So as I said, when I went to China, those are the luckiest numbers. And in fact, if you look at products that have come from China and you look at some of the labeling, it will either add up to an 8 or a 6.
Mm, mm. Let me ask you this about numbers, since numbers are frequencies. The most popular event out of all the corporations, they spend millions of dollars to advertise, Lloyd, is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is always advertised not as a number, but as a Roman numeral. So,
Yes.
is there any difference between just using a regular number and using a Roman numeral, whereas the biggest event in the world would choose to use a Roman numeral to advertise their event?
Well, that's to make you think, because in this case, in fact, I did a show recently here in New York about Super Bowl 58. And I was
Uh-huh.
explaining that it adds to 13 and 1 plus 3 is 4.
Mhm.
And that it's going to be a nail biter, which it turned out to be literally a nail biter in every sense of the word.
Oh yeah.
But they do it in Roman numerals. I don't know why they've done it. There's got to be a reason. When you're talking about a sports event that's in the millions and billions of dollars, nothing is done willy-nilly.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
That's what I was saying. Lord, I was like, there's got to be a reason they doing this with these Roman
Yeah,
numerals.
yeah. But first it makes you think. And you'd be surprised because a lot of people, they can remember up to maybe 10, but after that, 11, 12, 13, in the Roman numbers, not unless you just studied it. But it's designed to make you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed to make you think.
No, definitely, definitely. All right. So one thing I also noticed, Lloyd. So we talked about iPhone, biggest tech company. We talked about the biggest sports event of the year, and now I want to show you. Let me show you this real quick, because like I tell you, the numerology, y'all. This is like interest to me more and more
Yes,
and
it
more
is. Mhm.
every day.
But
Now,
don't forget, though, Rich, there's nothing you can do without numbers.
exactly,
Nothing. Nothing.
exactly. Now, you can see. Do you see the Rolex on the screen, right?
Yes, I do. Yes,
Now I
I
want to
do.
ask you, as a corporation, you see this is 1010, 1010, 1010, 1010, 1010, 1010. I don't know if it's 1010 or 1011, y'all. Look, I think it's 1010. But every watch, now you say they don't do anything haphazardly. Every
Mhm.
watch on their
No.
site is set to 1010.
Yes.
Lloyd, as a master numerologist, there's got to be some type of reason the biggest watch company in the world sets all their watches to this specific time, Lloyd.
Well, it's interesting because 1010, first of all, adds up to an 11 or 2. Well, it adds up to 2. In other words, if you put 10 plus 10, that's 20. And
Right.
20 is called the awakening, raising people's consciousness. And it's designed, obviously, to awaken your awareness of a product. But notice, all the watches you show, not one of them varied off from other than the 1010 position. Did you know that when you go into an Apple store, the computer is set at such an angle where you have to touch it to adjust it where you can see it? And
Wow.
just that alone encourage you to kind of become more induced or enticed into dealing with Apple products. That's probably why Apple products sell everything they go. The way it's designed, you got to touch it. And as you touch it, you kind of like symbolically own it.
And I just to show the family, because how intentional these corporations are when they're doing business. The little second hand is right at 31 seconds. Look,
Yes,
31 seconds,
yes,
31
yes.
seconds. So family, family, when I say these people are intentional, they are intentional. No, like
So
you
this
see,
is what I'm trying to tell you. And if you
that's
notice, I was going to say, and it's so interesting, you were one step ahead of me. But if you look at the second hand, not the short and the long hand, but the second hand that goes around, it's also an exact position around about 30, 31.
yeah,
You
no,
know?
that's what I just said, Lord. No, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm copying what you
Oh,
just said. I was
okay.
going to say that, but you kind of like jumped to it first but nothing is done by accident. Millions upon millions and millions of dollars are spent in advertising. So they don't do this willy-nilly, man. No.
Lord,
And
you
it
talk.
gives a sense of prestige, a sense of ownership, a sense of status, a sense of recognition to have a Rolex on your watch versus a $10 watch off 125th Street. Okay.
Right. No, Lloyd, I'm about to really corporations the way they moving. I gotta put you and King Simon on my team, man. I gotta consult with y'all with all the moves I make. If they moving like that, Lloyd. Shit, we gotta be sharp, family, with the
Yeah.
numerology
Yeah.
in our community. Let me ask you this, Lloyd. Now we talk about names, we talked about social security number, we talked about birth dates. In terms of names, Lloyd, do you get into the gematria at all?
No, not at all. But I do get into the name studying the Chaldean and Pythagorean system
Okay, because
because where your birthday tells me why you're here. Your name tells me what you know. Okay.
what I was going to ask you, Lloyd, is what advice would you give to parents? Because our parents name us, so they say we tell the parents what to name us from another realm, but we're given a nickname in our household majority of the times, and that
Yeah.
nickname carries a vibration. So what do you think about the nickname, and what advice would you give to parents when, because black people, we'll nickname a kid Booger or some shit, what I'm saying? Booger, come here, Booger. What I'm saying?
And we mean that thing too.
Yeah,
Okay.
what advice would you give to parents in terms of the vibration of the nicknames, Lloyd?
Well, the name has more power than you know. So, for example, if I took your name originally, Richard, the
Yeah.
name Richard adds up to 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9. Oftentimes, the name we're given at birth reflects the zodiac sign or date of birth of one of the parents. So, 9 reflects Aries, it reflects Scorpio, it reflects Leo,
My
or
father's an
people
Aries. My father's
see.
an Aries.
And
Yeah.
my name, Lloyd, is an 18, and my father's an Aries.
See,
My brother's a Scorpio, and my sister's a Leo. You
can't
see
make
what
this
I'm
up,
saying?
y'all. This is
That's
real.
what I'm saying.
Lloyd didn't
And
know
so
my.
it's subconscious. It's subconscious. We don't think about it.
Yeah.
We just say we're gonna name that baby. And then of course when we're born, as babies, we always give little nicknames like you say, booger, something like that. But
Yeah.
they're just what are called pet names. But when you
Right.
go out into the world and present yourself as a human being, when you're wheeling and dealing and carve your way through this life, and in a way of through business or whatever the case is, we are known by a certain name. So like some names are short, like Richard is Dick, Robert is Bob, you know what I'm saying? So it's little things like that. But your name is very important. And so this is why you will have people that are add a letter to their name or
Yeah.
subtract. Now there's a famous singer back in the day named Jean Carn. She came to me for a consultation, and I told her to add the letter E to the last name, Carn, making it Carne. And
Mhm.
she said after that, that was of all the CDs she did, that was the highest selling one. And she even autographed a CD to me,
Mm.
explained it to Lloyd, the numerologist extraordinaire. So, Warwick added a letter to her name. Marvin Gaye added a letter to his name. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So people
shit!
will add a letter, take a letter.
Yeah.
It makes a difference because each letter, as you correctly said a moment ago, has a frequency.
So
And
so
once you
Lloyd,
know the frequency, you know how to alter the frequency of the person you're dealing with.
right? So Lloyd, all right. So my producer name, we commented on my song at the beginning of the video. My producer name is Black Magic. People have always told me, yo, why you don't have a C? Because people in the esoteric community, they spell magic Magick. I just have Magik. Now, what's your thoughts on me not having a C? And even with my channel, my name is Black Magic, but all the witches and the wizards, they're like, magic is Magick. I'm like, no, I want to spell it Magik. So what's your thoughts on
But
me not
first of
having
all, that's a reflection of your individuality, your
right,
rhythm. And
right.
that's why names are now spelled all kinds of ways. So S
Oh yeah.
becomes Z's. You know what I'm saying? So people come up with very unique ways of spelling names, but each letter that you use or don't use sets off a frequency. So, that's an important. So when you drop the C, you drop the number 3, but you kept the number 2. So that's Magik. Is that right?
Yeah, Magik. Yeah.
Hold on, let me just do this 1 second.
Yeah, come
M
on, Lloyd.
A
Let me know. Come on. We
G
got the
I
expert here.
K. So that's 41312. That's 10, 11. That adds up to the master number 11 right there.
Master number.
The
Wow.
master number 11 means one who is visionary. But if you added a C to it, that would add it to 14, which had been a 5. Now, 5 would rule the sign of Virgo or Gemini.
Uh-huh.
But I like the way this is spelled because this takes the magic that you know of to the next level.
Master number, y'all. Y'all can't.
Master number
Family,
11.
we can't make it up. I got
Yeah,
this
that's
number.
what I'm seeing. And I'm
Hey,
using the Chaldean system for people who want to know how that got it.
all the wizards and witches. I know what I'm doing, y'all. I can do magic. I know what I'm doing. I knew how
And
to
you
do
say it too. And you do
yeah,
magic too.
yeah, yeah.
There's no
So,
question.
wow, this man, Lloyd, I'm gonna tell you, man, this thing is just so interesting. Just We done come up with so much stuff just during this conversation in real time. You didn't know my pops was an Aries. I got the Aries right here.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying
You
this, and
see,
I'm
I know
like,
your original name was Richard. Okay. And so whatever name we're given ought to reflects the zodiac sign or dates of birth of one of the parents. In fact, I discussed a whole segment of this on my TikTok page
right.
under Numbers in You, because the
What do you?
name we're given reflects that. And not only that, oftentimes the date of birth too. So not only is 9 favoring therefore Aries, Scorpio, Leo, but it means anybody possibly born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month as well.
Right. So what do you? All right. So if you are, let's say, Capricorn. No, what's the first month of the year? That's the Capricorn, right? The first month
Well,
of the
for
year.
January, yes. When they start off January, it's in the sign of Capricorn.
So if you're born in the first month of the year and you're a Capricorn, does that have any connection with the one? Just like Virgo is the ninth month of the year, that's a 9.
Yes,
So
yes. In fact, I just finished doing a series that if you're born in December as a Capricorn, you're totally born different than the one
yeah,
that's born in January under the sign of Capricorn. So if
wow.
you got a Virgo that's born on August side of the equation, it's
Uh-huh.
totally different than one born on the September. So, for example, Minister Malcolm X and his wife were both born in May. He was
Right.
born on the 19th. She was born on the 28th. Dr.
Mhm,
Betty Shabazz.
mhm.
One is a Virgo, one is a Taurus, the
Mhm.
other is a Gemini. Then if you take Jada Pickett and Will Smith, they both born in September, except she's born on the 18th, which makes her a Virgo, but he's born on the Libra side, which is the 25th of the month. So
Mhm.
just because a person is born in the month, it depends on where they're born in. And those are great questions you ask. There's a difference. There is definitely a difference. Because the January one, just for example, as you pointed out, was a little bit more independent. They break out on their own. They normally between their 19th and 22nd birthday, they're out on their own. And all Capricorns are known to be very serious minded.
All right, let's pull something else. This is very, very, very fun, family. Let's pull something up. I gotta ask Lloyd about an address. I'm gonna ask Lloyd about. We talking about corporations. Y'all say America's a corporation. The more say that.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest corporations out there, headquarters, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Zip code is 20500. Lloyd, what can you tell me about what the
Well,
White
first
House
of all,
represents?
16 adds up to a 7, and 7 governs the sign of Cancer. And if you look at it, 20500, that's a 7, which
Right.
governs the sign of Cancer. But the date of birth of the United States is July the 4th. So they started with 13 colonies. 1 plus 3 is 4. It
Uh-huh.
had 13 naval ships. The flag had 13 stars, 13 stripes. E pluribus unum, 13 letters. Don't tread on me, 13 letters. The White House, 13 letters. The president is elected every 4 years. Washington, D.C. is broken into 4 quadrants: northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest.
Mhm.
The area code to Washington, D.C. is 202, which is a 4. The zip code to Washington, D.C. is 20002, which is a 4. So
Mhm.
so the United States believed in numbers all the way. And I explain that in more details in my book, Numbers in You too,
Mm.
how the United States has employed numbers. And in fact, there were 13 signers of the Declaration of Independence signed at 1300 Locust Street in Philadelphia, written by Thomas Jefferson, born in the 4th month on the 13th day.
Mm.
Now, I would say that, to me, that's too much of a coincidence to me.
Wow. So, or let me save this. Somebody asked a question. I do want to ask this later. Let me just start this right here. All right, Lloyd. So, there's a Japanese gentleman who talks about, he's not alive anymore, but he talked about the science, Lloyd, of talking to our water and how
Yes,
our Emoto, I think, yeah, Emoto talked about the science of water and how our words affect the molecular structure of the water. I don't
yes,
know if I asked you this before. I might have asked you this before. Now, what if I just had, say, I had nothing on my water and I just put a number 8 on it and put the number 8 on my water. And every time I drink the water, I looked at that 8 and I drink it. Do you think if our words and our frequencies and numbers are frequencies, how effective do you think that would be in me tapping into that number frequency, Lloyd?
Well, don't forget Bruce Lee, the famous martial artist and philosopher, says, be like water.
Yes. Oh yeah.
If you pour it in a glass, it takes a shape. So this gentleman, and I remember this too, because don't forget, the majority of this world is water in the first place. The
Yeah.
majority of our body content is water, which is why they always say stay what? Hydrated. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the fact that you can say something, and don't forget, water has energy too. See, we
Mhm.
think because we can move and jump and dance and run and stuff like that, and maybe water, so it has its own molecular structure too. But to
Mhm.
be able to talk to your water with drinking it, this is I'm drinking this water to heal myself. It's what your intentions are. It's about manifesting on purpose.
Mhm.
That's the thing. But we're not taught to manifest on purpose. We
Mhm.
just had some water and whatnot. But if we knew how to talk to water, like we knew how to talk to ourselves, talk to our pets, okay? Because if you talk to a pet, even though we don't talk dog language, a pet can sense what you're feeling or conveying and whatnot. So why not the energy of water?
Mm. Indeed. Indeed, Lloyd. I heard somebody in the chat earlier. They mentioned I didn't save the question, but they whoever asked it asked about the organs in the body. Any correlation between the organs and numbers, like your gut or your lungs or your heart? Any connection between the organs and numbers,
I'm
Lloyd?
sure there are. I haven't looked into, but I know this. There are seven major organs. There's seven holes in the body. So when you talk about the seven, everything is seven wonders of the world, seven
Yeah.
continents, and seven notes in the musical scale, 52 weeks in a year, which is seven.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that each of them. I haven't looked into that, but that's a good thing. And guess who's going to go down that rabbit hole next? I am.
Woo!
I would say the heart is number one because that starts off the energy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
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 Heart is
That that
number one.
that makes total sense, Lloyd. That makes
Yeah.
total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody saying the seven chakras. Yeah. Yeah. Seven chakras. Yeah.
Hmm.
Somebody said
Hmm.
Libra rules the kidneys.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah,
That.
because each number rules a part of the body. The number one rules the eyes, high blood pressure, the lower back,
Mhm.
heart palpitations, regular blood circulation. Number two rules the stomach and digestive tract. Sensitivities with the reproductive organs in women, the prostate in men. Number three rules low blood pressure, emotional upsets, panic attacks. The number four rules odd and unusual illnesses that has to do with the state of the mind. The number five rules the nervous system, mental exhaustion, nervous tension. The number six rules heart palpitations, allergies, hay fever, and stuff like that. Yet its best medicine is sunlight, fresh air, and best activity. The number seven rules water, worry, and night sweats, things of that nature. The number eight rules headaches, the knees, the teeth, the bones, things like that. The number nine rules accident. Diseases don't like nines because nine is ruled by the element of fire, but accidents and
Mm.
injuries and nicks and cuts and burns and bruises and fender benders like the number nine. That's in my book too on numerology and health.
Mhm. What is your thoughts on, when we talk about wealth and we talk about money, one of the earliest forms of money and one of the most popular forms of money that have lasted for, thousands upon thousands of years is gold. They often
Well,
associate.
gold is ruled by the number one.
Well, what I was going to ask you is the atomic number of gold is 79. So talk to me about how is it ruled by the number one? Let's talk about gold and its number because I see the atomic number is 79.
Well, I don't know about the atomic numbers per se, since I'm not that familiar with that aspect of it. But
Yeah.
each number also rules elements and metals and things of that nature. But number one is gold has always been associated with the number one.
Wow.
Okay, because no matter where you go, because even BRIC now, which is Russia and Brazil and China and South Africa, all of them are now going to the gold standard. The gold is
Exactly.
fiat
Yeah.
money, paper money. That's
Mm.
that's going to be kind of like going by the wayside. But gold is always constant. And notice, where does gold come from, brother? The motherland. All the gold comes from the motherland. Okay, all the minerals, all the uranium, all the bauxite, all the
Mm.
diamonds. So
Mhm.
for people to call Africa a very poor nation, why is everybody there? And why does everybody refuse to leave?
Exactly. Exactly.
Chocolate, cocoa, you
Right.
name it,
Uh-huh.
you name it, all
Mm.
comes from all come from the motherland.
Mm.
Not bad for a so-called poor nation.
Indeed. So Lloyd, let me ask you this now. In terms of consciousness and one of the biggest events that sparked a lot of conspiracies around the world was 9/11. You know, there was many books written when 9/11 took place. What I want to ask you is about that date. Is there any connection between that date and the tragic event that took place 9/11 2001? I don't know how you add up the date, but any connection can you see in that date and
Well,
what took
yes,
place?
because if you add 9/11, no matter where you go in this country, if there's an emergency, if there's
Mm,
anything connected with hidden dangers, trials and tribulations, or great difficulty to contend with, what number do you call?
yeah, 9/11.
911. So
Yeah.
911 in this case represents 11. In fact, that's what that compound number denotes anyway. Trials and tribulations, great difficulty to contend with. So, I mean, there was a lot of things that was happening with that on that particular day. And in fact, I wrote that in my book, Lloyd's Book of Numbers, a numerology guide for the 21st century. There were many events that took place on that day, how things was happening. And so, and ironically, exactly 1 year from that date on September the 11th of 2001, the pick three number that came out was 9/11 and almost broke the lottery system. Ever since
Yeah.
then, that's been a cut number, as they call it.
Wow.
You can't
Wow.
play that number on 911 anymore. You can play it, but you ain't gonna get nothing. They'll say we can't play it.
Yeah, King Simon in the chat said for information. I remember when I was young, everybody used to call 411. What's the
Yes.
411? Yeah.
Yes, information. Yes. And so you got all these kinds of numbers that kind of come into play. They mean a lot. And but they're more symbolic too. You know, so we speak in numbers. You know, I've got a 9 to 5. What's the 7-Eleven? You know, there's
Yeah.
all kinds of lingo that we talk about, you know, like with gambling, 7-Eleven. It's numbers are so part and parcel of our lingo, our culture, our history, our lives that we just take it for granted. And that's why I tell people, Brother Rich, that if you don't believe in numbers, can you please send me your paycheck? Brother, you know how long I've been waiting to get somebody's paycheck in that sense? Ain't
Right.
nobody, when they look at those numbers will tell them what kind of bills they're going to pay, what they need to deal with, or whatever the case is.
Mm,
So imagine a world without numbers. It's impossible. How you going to watch the Super Bowl without numbers
indeed.
or
So
any
let me
sports event?
let me can't live without numbers. Speaking of living with numbers, everybody lives within a zip code. I'm a number 8, Lloyd. I grew up, my zip code in Harlem, New York was 10026. Is that a connection? Is that like how do those numbers get along with each other? I'm a number 8. My zip code was 10026. Is there any connection there?
Well, first of all, that was a 9100026. But
Yeah.
you talk to businesses, and one of the things they'll ask you is, what zip code are you in? They
Mm.
know that a certain element, more the wealthier, um,
Exist. Yeah.
exists in there, the less fortunate will live in this zip code, and that will determine the ratings for your car insurance, the ratings for
Right.
your life insurance,
Yep.
the ratings for everything. So these numbers tell a whole lot to people. They just say, "Oh, I live in this zip code, that zip code," but that zip code tells a whole lot, not just the state that it is in,
The
but
zip code.
also whether you're in the well-heeled community or the less well-heeled community. These are all guides that tell people in a way. So it's like going to a doctor. They'll look at your numbers and tell whether your blood pressure is normal, above normal, below normal, your cholesterol level. So no matter what you use, you go to your tax preparer. He's going to tell you whether you're going to get back money. You got to pay money. You know what I'm saying? You go to your dentist. Each tooth in your mouth has a number assigned to it. So this world is full. You cannot get away. One of my challenges I always tell people is when you get up in the morning, start the day and don't use numbers at all. You can't make a call. You can't get a call. You can't buy breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can't push the elevator if you live in an elevated building or anything. You can do nothing without
Mhm,
numbers.
mhm.
Nothing. You got to know when you're going to work. You got to have an address to go to. You know, everything we do is in numbers, but it's so part and parcel of what we do. We just simply take it for granted.
Well, give me an example, Lloyd. So one of the biggest shows that dealt with wealth that had a zip code in it was 90210. What can you tell me about
Yeah,
that? Remember that show? 90210.
90210. Well, that number added to 12, which is a 3, which is considered one of its big numbers. See, because The money-making numbers other than an 8 and a 6 is a 3. That's also a money-making number too, because that is ruled by Jupiter, the good luck planet, the planet of prosperity. So that will make a big, big difference too. So, and again, because of that zip code, that became just alone a very popular show back in the 80s or 90s, whenever it was. But when
90s.
you add 90210, that adds to 12, which is a 3. But what it also tells me is that people live in that zip code wind up being the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others.
Mm. Mm.
And there was a
Interesting.
lot of drama in that show too, from what I understand. I've never seen any of the episodes, but I understand there was a lot of drama, high
Oh yeah,
drama.
yeah. Lot of drama. Definitely a lot of drama. Wow, y'all can't tell, man. This is like this this number thing. This number thing is son, y'all. So we talked about 9/11. The first date the World Trade got bombed was on February 26, 93.
Yeah, well, if you look at that, and in fact, that bomb took place in the basement
In the
of
basement.
the
You're right.
World Trade Center.
Right.
Okay, this took place by air, and in fact, I think the first plane that landed into the World Trade Center added up to a 2. I
Uh-huh.
mean, everything about it. There must have been about 20 different things I pointed out that was associated with the 11, New York City 11 letters.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a lot of things involved with that particular event on that day.
Indeed. You ever added up your phone number, Lloyd?
No,
Your cell phone
no.
number? I mean, this thing, I don't know how deep should we get with this thing, Lord. I'm asking you
No,
about
no, people go deep. People go deep. In
those.
fact, when I read people, they'll tell me a lot of times they don't go into nothing until they check the number. Because we are a number. We're a number in everything we do. We are literally a number.
Lloyd, I'm gonna
So,
add
for
them.
example, in my number of children, I have 1 5, 2 6s, 1 8, and 2 7s.
Lloyd, hold up, because we experimenting live. I'm adding up my phone number real quick, Lloyd. So just kick it with the people 1 second, Lloyd. Let me just
Okay. So I'm gonna do mine. Okay, let's see.
all right. See.
So you're gonna have everybody adding up their numbers.
Add up your numbers, y'all. We doing this. Come on, we all got to experiment with this stuff, Lloyd. That's 32. 42. Mine's add up to 45. 4 plus 5 is a 9. So
Yes, it is.
my number adds up to a 9, Lloyd.
Yeah. So I'm looking at mine 6.
I got 8s and 9s all around me, Lloyd, because my destiny number or something is a 9. So
Yeah, well, that's taking the month, the day, and the year you're born. So when you look at that final number from the month, the day, and the year you're born, it tells me symbolically what grade you are in the school of life.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah,
Yeah. So it tells me what we're here to learn from the womb to the tomb. We're in this journey, this temporary, because we don't stay here forever. We fulfill our mission, and then we move on to another experience, whatever that is. The fact that everybody go that way, it can't be that bad because everybody got to go that way. But there are a lot of things. Yeah.
You know what's funny? So my life path is a 9. My phone number adds up to a 9.
And my life path is a 9.
And people in the chat is saying their life path and phone number are adding up as well. This is my phone is a 4, just like my life path. A couple of people said that.
Yeah. Yeah, because what's happening is people are now beginning to pay conscious attention to their numbers, and each number rules a day, each number rules dates, each number rules months, each number rules ages and years. So, for example, in your case, since your numbers are the 8, 6, and 5, it tells me I can tell you that right now, when you were 5, 6, 8 years old, 14, 15, 17 years old, 23, 24, 26 years old, then 20, 30, 32, 33, 35 years old, because each of those years, for example, add up to the single digit of a 5 or a 6 or an 8. And these could be milestones, you know what I'm saying? When you got married or when you gave birth to your son, how old were you? It may have been around those ages. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that we do, and we just take it for granted.
Mm.
And so, like this lady here, Crystalline, so that tells me if her life path, which is the month, the day, and the year she's born, is a 4, that tells me she's going to always lead a life that's odd and unusual, that's very different. The kind of men she attracts, the kind of relationships she has, the kind of events that will happen. But her birth path tells me that she's a genius, all depending on other factors in her life and follow that path.
Mm. Wow. Um, somebody as asking Lloyd, why is there no 13th floor in most buildings in NYC? The 13
Well,
unit.
that's called triskaidekaphobia.
Mm-hmm.
And triskaidekaphobia, that means the fear of the 13. And that is because Friday, which is a 4, falls on a 13, which is a 4, falls on a Friday, which is a 6. 6 and 4s are opposition numbers to each other. So remember when I was telling you I was in China and the numbers are the 6 and the 8. Well, their antagonistic number is the number 4. When you say 4 in Chinese, it sounds like death. So they don't like the number 4. But to answer that question, there is one building in New York City that has a 13th floor, and that's the Harlem State Office Building located at 163 West 125th Street. It has a 13th floor for Brother Rich. It doesn't have a 10th floor.
Mm. Interesting. Very
Yes,
interesting.
it is. Yes, it is.
You know, 125th is one of the biggest money making streets in
But
New
that's
York,
an 8, brother.
and it's a number 8. That's what I was about to say.
What about numbers? What about 116th Street?
Yeah,
That's a number 8.
it's number 8. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Lloyd,
And
this
what
thing
about 42nd Street? That's a number 6.
6.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
thing just keep going, Lloyd. This thing, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying
We can't make this up. Trust me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm becoming more and more into this thing. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Wow, I ain't thinking
It's like,
46.
and the further you go down the rabbit hole, the deeper it gets. That's exactly what happens with this. That's what got me into doing this. I've been doing this for decades. I started, well, okay, the numbers go from 1 to 9. I got 10 fingers. I got this. And
Yeah.
man, had I known how long this journey would take me and what I've experienced, it's just amazing. I live and breathe this all day long, man. It's fascinating.
For those who the numbers, because like the sister said, or brother Nandi, Saturn rules number 8. So I'm a number 8. What the, like we're all certain numbers. So if we have a planet that rules our
Yes,
numbers, so like my Saturn rules my number
yes,
8. What do you
yes.
think, how should we move with that information, Lloyd?
Well, each number rules a planet, so I don't want to just leave that out. The number 1 is ruled by the planet of the sun. The number
Mhm.
2 is ruled by the planet of the moon. The number 3 is ruled by the planet of Jupiter. The number 4 is ruled by the planet of Uranus. The number 5 is ruled by Mercury. The number 6 is ruled by Venus. The number 7 is ruled by Neptune, although it's originally ruled by the moon. The number 8 is ruled by Saturn, and the number 9 is ruled by Mars. All of these have planetary rulers. So if you look at Saturday, which is taken for the number 8, they take the name just from Saturn. If you look at Sunday, which is the number 1, they take it from the Sunday, which is from the sun. And if you look at Monday, all they did was left out a 0 and just added a day to it. So a lot of times, metaphysically, the things we speak about. So, for example, when we were talking at the top of the show about the New York Stock Exchange, founded on the 17th of May under the sign of Taurus. When the stock market is doing well, the stock market said it is bullish. Well, what's the symbol of Taurus? A bull. So there's so many obvious in your face kind of things that just go right past us because we're not made or conscious of these things. But metaphysically, there are more things that are going on that's more magical than people can imagine.
Mm, yeah, no, definitely, definitely. We got make sure y'all hit up Lloyd's website,
But
lloyd-strayhorn.com.
even better, they should go to Linktree/numbers and you. That's the better link.
Okay,
Link
okay.
and Simon got me onto Linktree. I said, "Who's Linktree? Whose mother's?"
Uh,
But Simon is literally without question one of my brothers. Without question, we're both Aquarians. We're both numerologists. Do you know both our books, King Simon and my book, is listed on the 100 best numerology selling books of all time?
fire,
Simon's on there, and I'm on there.
fire. Y'all deserve it.
Yeah,
Y'all two brothers definitely
I'm
deserve
giving the
it.
man his props. That he's just that good.
Yeah, shout out to King Simon. There's many a times I've said this over and over again. He's just inspired me or picked me up when I felt a little down. just reminding me of who I am on an energetic level. And we
Yeah,
all need those,
yeah.
we all need those reminders. So King Simon constantly reminding us of who we are energetically is definitely a big help for the community. So shout.
You know, I was going to say, if you want to feel good about yourself, just let St. King Simon introduce you.
Oh
By the
man,
time he introduce you, finish with the introduction, it'd be like applause. And,
for
you
real.
know what I'm
No, for real,
saying?
for real.
He is the best. He is the best. So if you don't feel good about yourself, get King Simon to represent you at the event, and you'll see what a difference it makes.
We got I gotta get out here in 10 minutes, y'all. So we got 10 minutes. We're gonna do a quick Q&A. Let me say this again. I'm gonna be here for 10 minutes because I see y'all started putting numbers in the super chat. Let me say this loud and clear. So y'all won't say, Brother Rich took my money and this. I'm gonna be on this show for 10 more minutes, family. So I'm gonna get to what I could get to, questions, and not just readings. Like if you just got a regular question, you could just ask a regular question. But there's one day in particular. Somebody I know asked King Simon about this date and a birthday, and I want to ask you as well,
Okay.
Lloyd, just to get your idea on some advice you could give this individual moving, how to move and maneuver in this year. And this date, Lloyd, is November 9th, 1964.
Well, this person should move with a sense of purpose and direction because they are starting in a one universe, one personal year. How I determined that was I took 11, 9, but instead of adding his year of birth, I add the year I want to know about right now, which is 2024. Well, so when I add the month and day and the year to, I mean, the month and day to this present year of 2024, that adds up to a 1. So it tells me this is his year to step out on faith.
Her,
This is
it's
the
her,
year,
it's her.
her. This
Yeah.
is her year to step out on faith. This is her year to do things. In fact, she would be like the comic moms maybe that are often jokingly say the only thing a woman could do for her is bring her a man because she gets along better with men. She'll also find that she attract men in uniform, police, law enforcement. They handling tools or handling wearing uniforms or whatnot. Very strong will. So this year says for her to set the course of what she wants for herself. It's not what her mates want, kids if she have to want, parents is what she must
But
want
she
for
wants
herself.
herself. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
first and foremost. That's it.
King Simon said, "I know who that is. I know you do, King. I know you know the vibes, King.
No, Simon knows the birthdays now. You can't fool around with Simon. He knows the birthdays.
You know every birthday in the world, every birthday in the world. Oh man. All right. So like I said, y'all, I'm gonna be on here. What is YouTube doing? Where is my come on, YouTube? They usually put the super chats in this little special area, and now I don't see it. Hold up, y'all. Oh man, I don't know what's up with YouTube, y'all. Oh man. All right, let me I don't know how to put it on the screen. All right, I got a couple of birthdays I'm gonna hit you with, Lloyd.
Okay, now since you only got a few minutes left, I'll get right to the point.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
September 23rd, 1989. This is plenty of chocolate. I can't put your name on the screen because YouTube
That's
is
one of the luckiest days to be born on. That's a Libra 5 person. Their lucky numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 9. In this particular year, though, although they may be lucky, they may not be feeling that way because this year they got to dig in, handle their business, get themselves structured and organized, and have a blueprint as to which way they plan to go.
Lloyd, August 22nd, 1990, Lloyd.
A person is very different, very unique. A person who is in a master number 11 personal year. Now, here's what's make it interesting. The main master numbers are 11 and 22. So not only is this person born on the 22nd, which is a master builder, which means they make things from ideas become real, but they happen to be in an 11 personal year, which means they're going to come up with great ideas, great concepts to take their lives and their endeavors to the next level. That's what they're going to do.
All right. 5/28, 1983, Lloyd.
Gemini 1 person, their key numbers are the 1, 4, and 5. And this year is going to be a life turning event for them, like it was in 2015 when they had an opportunity to turn their life around for the better. They're going to always not look their age and thus always attract younger people to them, romantically and otherwise.
October 11th, 84, Lloyd.
Well, this year finds them also in a master number 11 personal year. So this year they should work in a very elevated consciousness, not just going slow moving, but think in terms of doing things on a grand scale. And there's this saying, for whom much is given, much is required. And so much is going to be given and much is going to be required. But she'll do well.
All right. 11/25/94.
This person is about to make some serious power moves this year. That's for
Woo!
sure. This
Woo!
person is going to take it to the next level, and they happen to be in a pregnancy cycle. So I don't know whether Charlie is a man or a woman, but if Charlie, because they do have women named Charlie too.
Yeah, yeah,
But if
yeah.
Charlie is a woman in this case, it means that she can either give birth or give birth to an idea or concept. Because don't forget, we know that numbers speak in symbolic terms too. Okay.
Mm.
Like when you music, because each note has a musical dissonant, so it's 4 beats or half a beat or whatever the tempo is. So it's the same thing, but this person is going to be in a real big move to make some big moves this year, no question.
Any correlation with my name Anthony and my B-Day, August 26, 88?
Yes, the name Anthony adds the 28, which is a personal contradiction. So they got to be careful who they put their trust in, who they put their monies in, and who they seek advice from. But if they use the name Tony, it attracts older ladies. So the name Anthony is what attracts the younger women. But the name, if they use Tony, that attracts the older women. And the fact that they're born on the 26th tells me it was probably an older woman that introduced them to Sex 101 in the first place. And look at the birthday, 8th month on the 26th, which is an 8 in the year 88.
Wow, that's woo. Damn it.
So I know this is an old soul person. Notice what they donated $8.88. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. I got 4 minutes left, y'all. Just letting y'all know. 4 minutes left. Brother Rich gonna be out of here at the hour mark. Quick, just to let you know real quick, Asir, the Duke of Tears, will be on here tomorrow night at 9. So tune in tomorrow night at 9 for Asir, the Duke of Tears. Let's keep it moving. We got 4 minutes. May 12th, 1983, Lloyd.
Very young. Tell me this person walked before they were 1 year old. Very bright, very ambitious, very determined. They're in a 7 personal year. So this year, less is more. The less they say, the more they find out, which is rare for them because 3s love to talk. So I know this person is very conversational, very eloquent in speech and whatever the case is, but they will find that if they kind of keep words to a minimum and use ears, because that's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So she happens to be in the year that deals with the law of attraction too. So less is more. Don't chase, but attract by simply magnetizing and seeing it on the mental screen of her mind. Her key numbers, by the way, are the 3, 6, and 9, which means she has artistic gifts as well.
All right, we got plenty of chocolate here. What to expect for the year? Birthday, September 23rd, 89, Lloyd.
Well, this is the year where they get it together. This year where they lay the cornerstone or the building blocks of the things that they want. Now, they may have to put in the work. They may have to put their shoulders to the wheel. They may have to get their grind on, but what they put in is what they get back. So if she's the kind that's going to lay back and think that plenty of chocolate ain't got to do nothing, ain't nothing going to happen. But if plenty of chocolate get the pot stirring, okay, and get things going, by the same time next year, she'll be really pleased with the results.
All right. Who we got next? Me, my father, and grandparents are all 40 years apart. 1904, 1944, 1984. What does that mean?
Well, it's interesting because the year 1904 was the year of the 5. The year 1944 was the year of the 9. And the year 1984 was the master number 22. And it's 4. Don't forget, 4 is always the foundation. Moses wandered in the desert for 40 days, 40 nights. Noah was in the ark with the animals and his family for 40 days, 40 nights. And don't they say life begins at 40? So it just indicates that there's some things like that. And I like the fact that she's got that connection with her parents and her grandparents and things like that, all noticing that the year ended in a 4. Now, she didn't put her year, but it wouldn't surprise me, therefore, if her year didn't end in a 4, like born in 2004 or born in 1994 or having something of that significant or got married in a year of the 4. But it sounds like she would do very well in that case. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I almost saw. I think she has 12 letters in her name. I thought she had a total of 13 letters in her name. Looking for it. I'm looking for it, but that's what I see.
We
Oh,
got
she said she was born in 1984. This person here is the Pisces. They just had a birthday. So they are 7, 2, and 3, and their best days are always on a Monday and a Thursday and a Friday. Now, Rich, before I go off, can I let people know that I have a mobile app? I have a numerology
oh
app
yeah,
they can download in their phone.
oh
It's
yeah.
called a Star 8. So if Simon is looking, if he can put that in, a star8.com, all they got to do is go to their Apple store or their Android store, and it's ASTAR, the number 8. Download it. Everybody will get their lucky numbers who can't get on, and they'll also tell them what their numbers that are challenging to. So it's
Indeed.
a star8.com.
All right,
That's the website. Go
we
ahead.
got. I'm doing two more, y'all. We doing two more. We got 529.94, Lloyd.
Okay, this person is a air sign with a water number, very sensitive, very perceptive, very finicky about their eating habits and dietary laws. And this is their year to fall in love or fall out of love, all depending on the situation. And this year they also work in progress, whether if it's a woman, definitely did something with her hair already, losing a pound or two, getting in shape. If it's a man, he's going to get himself together to exercise or get back in the gym. But both, whether male or female, they should get some schooling under their belt.
And last one, we got Angelique, 81677.
Angelique is very sophisticated, very analytical, very independent with a mind of her own, and can be very sarcastic if you catch her on a bad day. That I can tell you. She likes to think for herself. You can't be knocking on the door, think you're going to surprise her and get in because you're going to get your feelings hurt. She's very private, like to stay under the radar. Okay. And I thank King Simon. He's put in my link tree where people can get to me, TikTok, and download my app too at star8.com or go to their Apple and Google. Simon, thank you so much. Simon is my brother, man. That's my buddy. Only me and his mother can talk bad about it. That's how I feel
That's
about
it,
it.
huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Lloyd, somebody said you reading off a script. You so good. Yo, Lloyd is so good. They said, man, that dude reading off a script. They just, you know you good when they done start.
You know what? The script is right here. Remember
Bro,
the movie Hidden Figures? You saw the movie Hidden Figures, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what do they call them sisters? Computers. Their
Computers.
brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. We've just lost it, or people want us to lose it, or we've been programmed to lose it. But brother, we haven't lost a single thing. All we got to do is just come back to our consciousness and reclaim it. Just that simple.
All right, Carl, we got to get your ass out of here now, Carl. I'm going to see you. No more commenting for you, Carl. He's out of here. Lloyd, man, we about to get out of here, man. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks, Simon, for also making the announcement. I really appreciate that. So everybody download the mobile app. You find your lucky numbers. And I also talk about the stress numbers, which we didn't get into. Okay. Right there, Linktree, all my services, online courses, free newsletter, all that stuff like that. And Simon is my buddy. He's going to have a big event. I'm going to have him on my show in April. There's going to be a big event going down in April here in New York City. So if you up this way, my brother, you are naturally invited too. And I need to have you back on too, because you have some guests just like amazing. And thank you, Brother Rich. You've done a lot for me. You really, really have too.
All right, man. Yo, I had so much fun tonight, y'all. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to my brother Lloyd. Once again, family, come back tomorrow at 9. I said the Duke of Tears. We'll be live on the channel at 9. I haven't had the brother in a while. It's going to be fun having the brother back on the platform. Shout out to Asir. Shout out to his wife, Selena. With that being said, Lloyd, I appreciate you, my brother. Keep up the great work. Like I said, numerology is so amazing. I'm
more and you amazing. Know what? And it ain't going out of style no time soon.
Oh, no time soon. No, it's coming into style. It's coming into
even more so. And indeed. I gotta thank my brother King Simon. He's the best. He is indeed. Really the best. He's done a lot for me that more people. One day I'm going to talk all about it. I'm going to talk real bad about it. But the brothers did a lot for me, and I appreciate it to the nth degree.
Appreciate it, Lloyd, and I'm gonna see you soon, my brother.
Peace. See you soon, buddy. Thanks, King Simon. Thank you very much, buddy.
All right. All right, family. Like I said, tomorrow, 9 o'clock. I see the Duke of Tears. With that being said, Brother Rich got to go. I will see you tomorrow at 9, family. Right. Y'all have a good night and enjoy yourselves. Thank you for all the support throughout the show.